Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is an industry presentation on operational agility, driving action from data by Farah, Senior Director, Solutions and Value Engineering, Qlik.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Farah from Qlik. I'm a Senior Solution and Value Engineering Director for the company, supporting our Asia Pacific region, particularly across our government and healthcare clients. Today, I'm going to be spending some time talking to you about how we can drive action from our data and deliver operational agility in our systems to become more efficient and more effective to provide better services to our citizens and better outcomes for our government. So the agenda today, I'll take you through to talk about initially who is Qlik, give you an update or a background into who we are and how we play in the government space, why Qlik is important and why we have so much success in the government sector, and then talk to you about why active intelligence is so critical to drive that operational agility that I spoke to earlier. So who is Qlik? For those of you that aren't familiar, Qlik's been around for over 23 years. We have over 38,000 customers in over 100 different countries spread across the world. We've got over 2,500 employees and have been an industry leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for 11 years in a row. In fact, we were the original organization or vendor that was allowed or given that status as a leader in the Magic Quadrant for BI and analytics or data discovery. We've got lots of market momentum with double-digit growth, and we have a strong partner ecosystem across the world with both our technical alliances like the Amazons, Microsoft, Googles, and such, as well as our global system integrators as well. So very strong relationships across the board. And Qlik, we have over 3,000 government customers globally who use us to meet their mission, reduce costs, and deliver higher value to their citizens. And when I mean across the globe, I truly mean it as reflected by this image here. We have customers across both the domestic and civilian side, as well as the defense and intelligence side as well, as security side. Lots of clients using us to drive operational change and system change to drive better outcomes for their citizens. In India as well, we have a huge presence. We've got over 1,000 customers across India, and a significant amount of those in the government and public sector space. Some of the clients are listed here in this on this slide as well. So public sector's customers like Indian Oil and Power Grid, but also ministries and state governments as well, like the Indian Air Force and then the Department of Foreign Trade as well. And one thing we're really proud about at Qlik is that we were awarded the best tech brand in 2021 across India as well. We were by the Economic Times, so fantastic recognition for not only our platform, but our people as well, making sure that we partner in the success of our organizations. It's not just about a software sale for Qlik, it's really about partnering with our customers to ensure they get maximum value from their investments with us. Now I'll touch on why Qlik. And the pandemic has brought on this we have to navigate to this new normal. The pandemic over the last two years has brought a significant amount of change and challenges and complexities across all organizations, whether it's government or commercial. And to survive this, the researchers have termed this digital business agility as this new factor that we need to drive towards. And digital business agility is underpinned by three different pillars: one, hyper awareness; two, informed decision making; and three, fast execution. Hyper awareness is really about being able to detect and monitor changes in your business environment in near real time. So it's making sure that you have access to the right data, the right time, and when you need it. Informed decision making is that we're not to rely on our guts anymore and our intuition and how things have always been done to drive our new decision making. Because we need to react fast and execute fast, we really need our computers and our technologies to really be able to drive informed decision making and help us take these informed action across the analytics that's delivered to us. And the way we do this here at Qlik is we've developed this analytics data pipeline. It's about transforming data in real time to informed action. And we do this by freeing your data. So any data, no matter where it is, unstructured, structured data, whether it's in an SAP system, an Oracle system, in the cloud, out of the cloud, wherever it may be, we're able to ingest and store that data in real time and get updates from multiple systems simultaneously, and then throw that through our analytics pipeline to help organizations then be able to find it. We know complexities in data and organizations mean that it's no more about big data, but it's about wide data, being able to connect to multiple different systems to be able to see the whole story that lives within your data, rather than looking at things in a subset or in isolation and trying to connect those in your brain. It's really about using the technology to connect all those different data sets together, synthesize it, organize it in a way via a catalog to allow lineage and to allow governance around that data, to then be able to help organizations understand it. And by understand it, we mean by overlaying descriptive, prescriptive, and predictive analytics components to that data, depending on the use case. And we help organizations find those insights and find those outputs from those data connections and those correlations to then be able to help organizations take action on that data. By allowing your teams to collaborate and understand and communicate and discuss and argue about data and insights, and then embed those analytics into processes and applications to allow people in the workforce, in the front lines, to be able to use those and drive informed action. And that's what we see is the analytics data pipeline, going from raw to ready to finding it and to understand it and then to action it. And that's what Qlik prides itself on. We're the only independent technology vendor that allows this sort of capability. Because it's really about taking BI and analytics. We're throwing out the old way of thinking and the traditional BI, and then we're changing the approach to new. We're moving away from these old analytics maturity models around descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive methods to really go through expanding the breadth and depth of customers' capability. Rather than talking about those old ways of analytics maturity, we want to look at it in new ways, passive ways of analytics, being able to use pre-configured data, non-governed pipeline, no action triggers. So it's looking at rearview mirror stuff. Reactive is really about exactly what it says, limited real-time data, but there's no alerting systems in place. You only take action once a trigger has been alerted or taken action on it. So it's almost like you're only taking informed action at 20 to 40% of the time. Augmented analytics is you almost get into that real-time data component, and there's some alerting and collaboration components there. But what we're trying to drive here is the active intelligence framework, where we're having real-time, up-to-date data, end-to-end governed data pipeline that triggers action from all staff across the organization. Not only a set amount, the people that are driving and developing these analytics and these dashboards, but all staff across the organization to really start taking and triggering action to use that to drive operational improvements and efficiencies. And the reason why Qlik stands out from the crowd is that we rapidly make data accessible, whatever the source. And we know in government agencies, there's data from every different system, whether it's a distribution system, quality systems, CRMs, ERP, supply chain, external data, procurement systems, manufacturing, finance, HR, etc. And we know the complexities of bringing that data all into a single repository to be able to conduct analytics on that is difficult, and that's where Qlik makes that possible. We're able to connect every user to their data, and the reason why we do that is we built this governance model around our data systems to allow organizations to build and curate their data once, to have many different users of that data. So we're turning organizations from just being gatekeepers of data, storing all this data, becoming shopkeepers, making the data available to the workforce and the different organizations and departments within the agencies to get value from those data assets. So why active intelligence now? We're driving that change. It's really about unlocking more value and timely uses of business data. In traditional senses, we've got the passive data and BI systems and tools using business data from all the various systems that you need to interact with. And then you're trying to free the data, bringing that into real time from multiple systems. We help organizations find it, analytics, data access and management, curated data systems, a catalog system to help make it an efficient shopping cart experience to make it easier for people to find what they're looking for and be able to leverage that asset. We help organizations understand it, taking the business insights with descriptive, prescriptive, and predictive analytics. And then finally, the active intelligence message is really about taking action, driving people to take timely, immediate action at the business moment, being able to embed those decisions into people at the coalface of an organization, giving them access to the information when they need it, how they need it. And that's what we see as active intelligence. So some customer examples of this, some prime examples to embed this value that we're able to deliver. And one of the largest organisations from a workforce perspective in the Southern Hemisphere is the Australian Government Services Australia. So this organisation supports better policy development and social payment services for all of Australia. So they cover all the welfare payments for, child welfare, pension welfare, Medicare benefit scheme, and the rest. And one of the issues that they found was having troubles in accessing all their different data from all these different systems to be able to use that to drive decision making. And where they found they've got a grants data exchange platform, which allows, because they obviously fund a lot of non-government organisations and not-for-profits as well as government organisations, to be able to deliver services, welfare services to the citizens of Australia that need it. And they found that being able to connect all this data was quite challenging. They had over 3,000 organisations that needed access to this data and reporting to see how they're performing and undertaking the requirements of the program. So they used the Qlik solution to be able to stream their data from real time, stream it from their source system from SAP and other databases into a Teradata and downstream into Kafka, to be able to then use that data to drive new decisions and new insights and actionable insights for their communities. So their data exchange platform, this was a snapshot as of last year, but it talks to you about what they do. It's really about having a two-way sharing of data information between the agency and the organisations that deliver that information. So it's rather than it just being the government pushing data out, they're also accepting information from these agencies, from these organisations, to then be able to determine whether they're actually providing the level of services that the government expects that they're providing for its citizens. So they have over 3,000, as I mentioned, over 3,000 different organisations currently registered in the data exchange, over 15,000 individual users that are able to interact with the data and interact with the dashboards and the insights to get that information. From a government perspective, they have 6 different agencies. So not only Services Australia, they've got Department of Social Services, Department of Health, Department of Education, Department of Skills and Employment, and other agencies also accessing this program to be able to deliver insights and analytics for over 75 different programs across government. And as I said, there's over 1,000 different organisations that are reporting outcomes data back to the department as well. So you can imagine an incredibly complex environment, but they're using Qlik to drive that interaction, drive that communication and understanding with these agencies to be able to better perform and advise across this very important welfare program. The next one I'd just like to touch on quickly is the Federal Department of Health Data Analytics and their response to COVID, because obviously COVID's touched every country globally, and what they did across the Department of Health was produce these, as I said before, around becoming a gatekeeper to a shopkeeper. So they developed all these data models and brought it into a central repository to be able to then feed into all these different requirements. So they worked on a data model, all the different data around COVID from states and territories, from private hospitals, from other organizations, around supply chain, personal protective equipment, ventilators, all these different bits of information, to bring it into a central repository that then they're able to curate and feed off to many different outcomes and many different uses, I should say. So they had the COVID public announcements, they had the Prime Minister's placemats, incident management for workforce and other people's, and also the face mask reporting to be able to then drive an understanding of where the country was in regards to these highly complex matters. So the beauty they found with Qlik is they were able to, as I said, deliver and build and develop this data model the one time that had a multiple. Here was just 4 examples, but there are multiple other examples where they leveraged that same data model to be able to report depending on the requirement or the use case. So just touching on lastly, just some helpful resources that you might find relevant or maybe to inspire some of your own thinking across government in India. So we've got, as I said, over 3,000 global customers using Qlik across their government operations. And we've established this health gallery, this government success gallery, if you like. So a number of our government agencies collect and go through and download these solution posters where they go through and they talk about what challenge they're trying to overcome, include a few screenshots, talk about the discoveries that they're able to make with that application, the audience of the application, the achievements that they were gained, and then what data and analytics capabilities were delivered in that. So there's lots around there. There's one from a business command app, which is from the police force in the UK. There's another one on government fraud detection. So there's over 30 different government posters available for anyone to publicly available for anyone to leverage. And as I said, get inspired. So you don't have to potentially reinvent the wheel. You can get some learning from how other agencies have adopted these techniques or these programs to drive value for themselves. So that's it from me. Just one last quote was just to say that data is really only as valuable as your ability to act on it. So use the data, let Qlik help you leverage your data and all your assets, combine those into a single repository, govern it, and help you make it available to your workforce and take informed action. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farah, for all the updates and insights around the topic. Now we'll stop for a short break. Stay tuned, everyone.